Morning, boys. How we doing? So yes, congratulations to us. We got 1900 subscribers already, 1902, which is fantastic news. Super pleased for that, and very appreciated. Thank you very much. Come on, driving Miss Daisy. It's real foggy out, like you can barely see town. We've had some rain overnight and it's just starting to kind of spot again, but the temperature's due to get colder, so I don't know whether that means we're going to have some snow. We will see. Probably not cold enough just yet, but it's certainly dropped. Today we've got the T5 coming in. It's having a whole host of stuff. It's having quite a bit. Shark fin, head unit, fascia kit. I don't know if we're doing speakers. We're definitely doing reverse camera. I've got to put in an aux from his camping TV in the back to the head unit in the front. So yeah, so one job today. I'm sure at some point I'll get lots of other people turning up asking me stuff and phoning and whatnot. So it's going to be a fairly busy day, and I'm going to try and pick up the camera as much as possible. Didn't touch the Xbox last night. I stuck a film on and fell asleep. I was tired yesterday, real tired. My brain was thinking about all the bits and bobs we need to do to the Lotus engine, what I need to order. I've got to change the conrods on the engine, and we've basically got two different options. We go standard conrods and aftermarket, sorry, standard conrods and standard bolts. But if I buy new rod bolts, they've been used twice, so you can use these kind of bolts twice, you can torque them up to spec twice, and then it's risky if you use them again. Obviously the conrod is under a lot of stress, and you don't want to be firing off a conrod into the side of the block and wiping out your crank and pistons and everything else. So we either do, and sit down for this because I nearly passed out last night, the conrod bolts. Obviously I've got a V8, so I've got 16 of them, so there's 2 in each conrod. They're about 60 quid plus VAT each. Yeah. So in total it's about 1,000 and something pounds just on 16 bolts. Or I've been speaking to my German buddy Mike. Guten Tag. And he's basically saying, if you're spending that kind of money, why don't you go forged rods, and you get new bolts with it for free. So I've got to get a price and figure out how much these rods are going to cost me. And weigh up the difference. Either way, I've got to spend £1,000 on 16 bolts, which is like, ouch. Or I spend more and get rods and bolts, but you know, we do forged stuff. So I'm yeah, gotta do some research on parts and prices. But other than that, yes, we are almost ready for putting the liners in, but I've got to strip down the 2 heads, so that's clearer bench aside, get my connections boxes. So I've got boxes with little dividers, excuse me, and you take out things like the collets, the spring retentioners, the hydraulic lifter, you know, everything goes in and out of the same hole together, so it's all got to be separated and removed in methodical manner, so you put it back in the same hole. So we can get ready and do that at some point, but it's just, I say, finding time. Christmas I may have a bit of time when I can just kind of mosey on down to the garage and kind of do my own little thing. Wifey would let me do it at home. I could get away with doing it on the kitchen table, but to be honest, for the sake of moving all the equipment home and tooling and stuff like that, it just might as well not bother. Hello, do you want to stay in your lane? You could just drive in front of this massive truck that's in front of you. No? Okay, fine. You just, yeah, not a clue, have you? You're following sat nav and don't worry about any other vehicle on the road. Good. Take us up to Specsavers, mate. So I'm going to get off to work. I don't think I'm going to do breakfast this morning. I've got coffee at work, I've got biscuits if I want a quick snack. But we're going to get in, start the day like we mean to go on. 1902 subscribers. Well done everyone, give yourself a pat on the back. Let's get up to 2,000. Onward and upward, hey? Never stop, let's go.
Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys.
Morning everyone, let me just turn this down a second. How are you? Hope you're good. So we've got our first one in, this VW T5. We have a mini camper conversion in the back of it. It's got a rock and roll bed, no kitchenette. We've got a camping TV that we've got to sort out. Did have a reverse screen clip-on monitor for the rear view mirror, but we're going to put a Pioneer in here and get rid of this thing. It's not really in the dash properly. So we can have a proper screened radio in there, not this old school Pioneer. We've got shark fin roof aerial to do. So we're putting in a roof aerial at the top here to give them better reception. I've got to run an aux from the TV up into the headliner down to the radio, the new radio. We're doing a reverse camera. So we will have a new camera up in there that's going to work. And I've got to try and figure out how they've put this headliner up because there's no screws and it looks like they've carpeted over all the bolts and fixings. So that's going to be an interesting one. We've got a bit of an issue with regards to the power in the vehicle. There is a leisure battery under this seat, and for some reason the guy has an isolator switch to turn it all off, but he doesn't lose the memory from that, which means that must be wired to the car battery as well as the leisure battery. So what I'm thinking is permanent live goes to the car battery, ignition live comes from this, it's activated on a switch, but you can also turn it off and on from the key. I don't understand that because technically then we've got powers that are kind of looped and that little 2 amp switch is running everything through it. We've got to figure that out. It looks like it may be a bit of a homebrew job that we've got to repair and fix and wire properly. But many bits and bobs to come. I shall get started on this one and I will come back to you in a sec. Wish me luck.
Good luck.
Okay, so we're making headway on the T5. We've done some sound deadening removing to get our bolt in for our aerial. We've drilled a hole, we've got the shark fin fitted. That's all done and dusted. Then I've moved on to the camera. So we've got rid of the old wedge type camera. There it is. That thing's out. It's not the prettiest thing. And they've also butchered the grommet, getting everything through, which is a bit of a pain in the backside. But we've got our nice new sort of flush mount camera going in there. So that'll sit nice and neatly on that thing there. Once we've got the cabling in. And then we're going to work all of this lot through the headliner, down to the front. We've got to pick up an aux from the TV. That's got to come over with it. And then we're down to the front, change the head unit, do some wiring on the leisure system, make sure that's correct, and we're good to go. So I'll come back to you in a bit. Just piling through this, steady, slow, doing it right. Got the 2-pack on. Nice and loud. See you in a bit.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
Afternoon everyone. How are we diddling? So we've got all our cables run. We're down the front of the van now. We've got our auxiliary put in. We've put our microphone in at the top here. So we got our, ooh, look at that, isn't that pretty? So we got our aux run, microphones in, my cables are here coming down the A-pillar, all taped up. But I'm starting to investigate some stuff. I've already removed a lot of cabling. But we have extra, and I have no idea what it's for.
What in cousin fucking tarnation, Alabama Betty Crocker, Miss fucking Betty White shit is this? Holy shit.
On the RCA output, so no wonder it didn't make any sound. Camera, we know what that is, that's hardwired, it's just badly done. And we've also got, there's a digital aerial here somewhere that was on the windscreen. There we go, that's coming out too. But I've got right speakers. I can see already the chocolate locks in there. Oh, that's got to get sorted out because we can't have that. That looks BS. But the problem I've got is the radio comes on with this switch, as well as working off the ignition. And looking in here, it's got a live, as I thought, into the car's battery, keeping its memory, and then the ignition is, Jesus Christ, hello. The ignition is doubled up for some reason, and it's in, what the hell is going on there? Yeah, we've got one feed in and one feed out, so this operates through the leisure battery and the ignition in the car, which is a bit bizarre, unless they've got some kind of filter in here that's stopping it, you know. But that would be the only explanation. But as you can see, all of the connections are horseshit. Everything is pretty much falling apart, and I'm surprised he's not had more troubles than he has, because that's live there, look, and that's right on the right on the radio. So we're going to go through this. I've got to do a bit of checking out, a bit of looking and see what's what, because it is a bit of a mess, and we'll try and neaten and make headway of what is going on, because at the minute it's genius. And I will come back to you in a bit. We're going to get the saw out, and I am going to chop off this plastic thing at the back of the radio cage because it's just trapping all the cables at the minute, so we're going to get rid of that and then go through this stuff, this kind of, yes. See you in a mo. Right, my dudes, that's it for today. It's probably going to be a short one. I've had a phone call from wifey. Jess is unwell, so she's not doing her party today. Faith's not coming, so I'm going to go home and play dad and cuddle a poorly child. So that's it for today. VW's just been picked up. Guy's super happy. We are going to have it back in the new year. We need to sort out the abundance of how shall we say, extra shit cabling that doesn't need to be in there, and all the confusion between wiring up a leisure battery and then running the permanent live from the normal car battery. Doesn't make sense. He's going to end up with a flat battery either way. So we are going to have it back in, and we're going to do some rewiring on that split charge system, do it properly, have it off a switch so it's on the leisure battery, not off both, so it's nice and safe. Loads more work booked. Next week should be a nice fun week. We've got lots of bits and bobs in, including the GI Yaris is coming back in. We're going to rewire that. But other than that, 1903 subscribers I saw today. I think it's going up and down, up and down, up and down. People are joining, then leaving, so that's cool. That's cool. But thank you anyway for pressing that button and supporting the channel. I will see you bright and early Monday morning for our little chat. Until then, have a good weekend. Stay safe. Love you, leave you. See you soon. Bye.
You told me you had subscribed to ASC Audio and now you've missed an episode. No!